Now, within a few years, you may be paying as low as 6,000 shillings as rent for a two-bedroom house in an urban town. Further, the cost of building residential houses will be slashed by more than half. Now, all this is if the government's plans come to pass as they have been put on paper. The government targets to build 1 million houses in 5 years, translating to 200,000 units annually. This is not only a very ambitious plan, but also one that follows previous missed targets over the years.
As of now, the deficit we have in terms of housing is 1.85 million houses.
One of the most underserved markets is that of low-income earners, whose housing is not only insufficient and underdeveloped, but also low quality.
We want to get rid of the slums. To remove the slum, you must build in the slum. Make sure that, because those people usually they do not want to live. With new technologies, you can actually build those multi-story buildings when people are still there.
The 1 million houses in 5 years plan is to mainly see middle-income houses being put up by the private sector, but with the state easing the environment to allow for lower costs. The plan is to also include social housing, which covers the informal settlement areas. And to achieve the affordable housing plan, some aspects have to be attended to.
Number one, the land availability, because land is expensive. We require to introduce new technology in terms of the way we build houses. The way you put one house there, that must change. We must build those multi-story buildings of maybe 16, 20 blocks. Thirdly, we require to have a very robust funding strategy. We require supporting infrastructure, like roads, for example, like water systems, like electricity. We must change certain legislation. Certain laws will have to change, because this money we want to build these houses must come from the local environment.
At least 30% of the cost of construction goes to the cost of land, which the ministry hopes to address, as well as availing the supporting infrastructure while pushing development towards the construction of multi-story buildings as opposed to stand-alone houses.
Land, technology, and even the supporting infrastructure, you go to slice the cost by more than 50%.
We are going to work out on a housing mortgage facility to ensure that we provide resources at affordable rates for Kenyans to take mortgage for the houses that the private sector is going to build.
The fruit of these plans is ideally lower costs of owning houses as well as reduced rents.
Depending on a unit, 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom, from looking at something like from 6,000 all the way to something like 15,000 to 20,000, depending on the size of the unit, which is far much lower than what some Kenyans are now paying in some areas for that type of units.